Ladies and gentle giants from around the world, my name is Dr. Staffner and welcome back to the Brief Vapes channel, where in a briefer summary as possible I try to give you a reason as to why or why not you should buy a particular piece, of vaping gear. It's been quite a while and I can only apologise for that. I'm coming to the end of a week off and it feels like I should have done a lot more with the channel than perhaps has happened over the last week, which is nothing up until now. But I'm coming back in well, not a big way at all, really. This is just a standard review. I'm going to try and get some decent lighting going on here, because this is pitiful. I have no major setup at all, just a webcam and a Blue Yeti microphone. But anyway, on to the purpose of this video. This is, let me adjust the autofocus here, so I can give you guys a better look at what is coming in this video. This is the IJoy Captain RTA in a very... let me see if I can get it. Well... yeah, that'll have to do. Yeah, this isn't the drip tip that comes with it. The drip tip that comes with it is an awful piece of kit. I'm going to show it to you because it's absolutely atrocious. I think it's horrible. It is Delrin, but it's enormous. It is the size of Calcutta. Bear with me 1 second. I should have really prepared for this video, but as always, this wouldn't be Brief Vapes if it wasn't ill-informed, ill-advised, and poorly put together. So yes, this is the Delrin drip tip that comes with it. I'm going to try and get this. This isn't going to come off now. Oh no, it is. I've got the 510 adapter on here at the moment, with the Crown 3 drip tip in it, the 510. But the Delrin 810 or whatever it is, I always forget the ½ inch or whatever it is. I mean, look at that. Look at it. It's absolutely monstrous. I mean, for me, I like the Goon style ½ inch or whatever it is, full inch strip tips on RDAs, but I don't like them on RTAs. I like something a lot thinner and smaller in profile. I think the big drip tips generally kill flavour in RTAs, for me personally. It's only a tiny bit, but yeah, I'll keep it on for the purpose of this review anyway, whilst I talk about it. So, as always, we're going to go from the, if we can, how do I unscrew this thing? There we go. I'm going to go from the bottom of the tank to the top of the tank, and in a briefer summary as possible, break it down for you. This is Brief Vapes. If you're new to the channel, I don't break the tank down. It's called Brief Vapes for a reason. I just give my general overview, and you can decide whether from that as to whether you're going to buy the product or not. The 510 is massive, the pin on the 510. This is definitely hybrid safe. Look at the size of that. It's got a nice piece of PEEK, or I think it's PEEK insulation sticking out as well, so I would feel comfortable using this on a hybrid or a mechanical device. Yeah, it's fine. The airflow, traditional sort of traditional IJoy Captain RTA, a traditional IJoy airflow, sort of those big, huge. There's only two, but those big, huge airflow ports. But the airflow is sort of restricted, and that's because the build deck for this is a more fashionable one. That's coming into fashion, I should say, these days. It's the, I think it was traditionalised with the Vandy Vape and the Vandy Vape Kylin and the Geek Vape. You know exactly which one I'm talking about, but it's slipped my mind. Basically, it's bottom airflow, so it sits underneath the coils, comes up like that, hits the coils directly, and there's these slanted side airflow things where it hits the coil like that. And it's generally better for flavour than I think the standard side airflow. I just think it's much, much better. It just provides better flavour, and also it's a postless deck, so it allows the flavour to come from directly underneath and from the sides, because there's more room in the deck, generally speaking, to do that. Yeah, it's good. It's sort of restricted because, as I said, the airflow holes aren't too wide. It's probably slightly less restricted than the Kylin RTA. Oh yes, we're not finished here. You've got the usual Wicking Ports, and this does actually have a. I'm still trying. I've had this for a couple of days, and I still can't quite work out how the airflow, the juice flow control works. It's really kind of fiddly. That's one of the few cons I have with the tank itself, is that it's very fiddly. There we go. It needs to be attached to a thing. Unlike the Kylin, which just has 2 deep juice wells for the cotton to sit in, this has 4 for each piece of cotton that you obviously lay down and put through the coils. Have a vape here. Open up the airflow. That always helps. Again, you have to hold the whole tank if you want the airflow open, and then twist the airflow. It's overly fiddly. I'd rather just have no juice flow control. Anyway. Juice flow control, 4 milliliter capacity. They say 3.8. I think it's closer to 4. Let's just round it up to 4, just for argument's sake. Then you've got the fill port, which is, if any of you have ever used the, now what can I can't remember it. As I said, ill-informed, poorly prepared video. That's the juice flow port there. It's a slide one. You slide it shut and you slide it open. There's a simple push symbol, so it tells you where you have to push. And there's your fill port there. Very kind of small, not particularly open for. If you're using a dripper, that's fine. But if you're using a more traditional unicorn style bottle, it's going to be more difficult. Yeah, standard takes the standard goon style 1/2 inch, full inch. I can never remember drip tips, but it does come with a 510 drip tip adapter as well, which is what I like to use. The build deck, I love Posters build decks, you know that by now. I think they're the best build decks. I love building on them, and yeah, it's just a great RTA in general. I think it's. I'm glad that people are companies specifically are moving towards this Postler style, more configured airflow style, which is more inducive to better flavour. I don't know. Words are my tool. In general, I think it's a really great RTA. I really like it. I've been using the OBS engine for quite a while now, about 2-3 months, simply because it's so easy to build on. It's typical, simple velocity style deck, and it doesn't leak. This I've had for a couple of days and it hasn't leaked at all on me yet. And I've packed the cotton very loose in here because I prefer sort of chamfered cotton, so you pull all the extra threads out, and I just think it's more conducive to. There's that word again. I just think it's better for easier wicking. Let's just use a simple word. And it hasn't leaked on me at all. I've even had it on its side for a few hours, and I haven't seen any evidence of leaking at all. No condensation, no anything. Perfect, which is a big change from the original coiling, which I was using before the OBS, which I adored again. But the leaking on that thing was just too much of a problem, and I had to get a better RTA for everyday use. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's been my thoughts on the IJoy Captain RTA. It reminds me a lot of the IJoy Tornado. Not for any specific reason, just because it's the only RTA I've used from IJoy since the Tornado, which I still claim is one of my favourite RTAs to have been released in the last 2 years. And yeah, this thing doesn't disappoint. I'm really proud of IJoy for releasing a product that actually works in every way that it should. Good flavour, good vapour production, great airflow, no leaking, and decent capacity. Fantastic, really great. So, ladies and gentlemen from around the world, thank you very much for watching my video on the IJoy Captain RTA. I'll hopefully see you in the next one, which shouldn't be too far away. Fingers crossed. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.